We're going to go back now and talk about the HST as British Columbians are waiting for the results. It will happen sometime tomorrow morning, approximately sometime between 11 and noon. Down at the legislature tonight, we're joined by CBC's Stephen Smart, who's been following the story from the beginning, really, but certainly have been on it today as the speculation and rumors start to, I imagine, spread around the legislature today. Already you're seeing hints. Stephen, I know you're busy doing other live hits today. I don't know if you heard our report. We had Vaughn Palmer talking about, already you hear Christy Clark, the Premier, talking about Plan B. Is that where this is already going, or are we seeing the speculation that the HST will be shot down tomorrow?
You know, it's all about the speculation today, Scott, and frankly, other than just a couple of people, the vast majority of people, Vaughn Palmer included, really thinks that this is going down, that this tax is going to get defeated. That sort of seems to be the buzz around here. You know, it's interesting looking back, you know, over the past few weeks, the officials within the government, within the finance ministry especially, were starting to sound a little bit more optimistic, a little bit more confident once they had those voter turnout numbers. Once we found out 52% of people actually cast a ballot, they thought that was good news for them. They were feeling a little optimistic. That's definitely gone away the past couple of days, especially today. As you said, as Vaughn said, really looking at that Plan B option, spending a lot of time trying to make sure that they don't, as much as they possibly can, don't come out of this looking like the losers in all of this. Really interesting dynamic around the legislature today. It sort of reminded me a bit of that time on election day, you know, after the polls have closed, but before we actually get a result. A lot of nervous anticipation around here for sure.
Well, I noticed yesterday, I mean, you're much closer to this than I am, in Ian Black and his announcement talking about moving on to the Vancouver Board of Trade. The Premier was talking about, she kept talking about creating jobs and defending jobs here in the province, and at one point even used the term job creators, which we've heard down south. Republicans have been using that word of late. Is that a hint of what Plan B may be, that it'll have to turn into an economic thing about jobs, and maybe the families first thing kind of goes by the wayside?
Yeah, that's definitely where the Premier wants to go this fall. She wants to have this jobs agenda. She actually came out a couple of weeks ago sort of talking about it without any actual details. We're expecting to hear more from her on that in September. That's where she wants to go, and that's the problem with the HST not sticking around, but the issue sticking around. If they lose, if the government loses, and people have voted to get rid of the tax, which you know, commentators think is what has happened here, then the HST as an issue sticks around. They've got to spend a year, 2 years phasing it out. They've got all sorts of negotiations with the federal government, and that's going to distract from that jobs agenda that the Premier wants to put forward. So there's a heck of a lot at stake here for the government, yeah, they're going to have a really difficult time, I think, trying to distract from that, trying to bring out their Plan B, if you will, as the Premier said, and bring up this jobs agenda. Well, there's still going to be a big focus on how they get themselves away, how they exit from the HST.
All right, thanks a lot, Stephen. A big day ahead of us tomorrow. I know you're going to be busy down there, and we'll be talking to you again. Thanks a lot for taking the time.
Be an interesting day for sure. Thanks, Scott.